I want to see how many national parks and attractions I can see in a long weekend. The first attraction is Glen Canyon Dam, right behind me. Next up is Zion National Park. We're in Warner Valley on the Arizona Strip. We're at the Little Black Mountain petroglyph site. Let's go explore Bryce Canyon National Park. By the way, it's cold enough to keep your hungry man dinner outside. It's about 17 degrees Fahrenheit. How about Butch Cassidy's boyhood home? We're in Warner Valley. We're going to go visit some dinosaur tracks. Let's drive through Valley of the Gods. This morning, we're going to go to the Petrified Forest National Park. It's a little chilly. It's at 22 degrees Fahrenheit and -5 Celsius. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. We had a good time out on our travels. I thought I'd do a little trip recap. The intent for us was to go to as many national parks in an extended or a long weekend as possible and see the sights around and get a good experience, a good flavor for each location as we went through. The trip occurred over 4 days. It was 1,565 miles, 32 hours of drive time. Costs were for fuel were $197 at $2.75 a gallon. The hotel rooms were in that middle grade. It wasn't like your dive hotels or Super 8s or that, and we try to stay so we'd have some nice accommodation, something like a Holiday Inn Express or somewhere in that range, and that was 3 nights for $350. You could probably do it cheaper if you plan further in advance, but we only booked our rooms about a week in advance. The park fees are about $35 a park. It ranges between from national park to national park, and the rates are going up. However, we used a National Parks annual pass. They're $80, so it's a price of like 2 park visits, and we had already completed that. So basically our park visits were free, and it's for the whole carload. So if you've got 1 person or 5 people in your car, it will be it'll be zero after you visit a couple of parks. And we live around in the southwestern United States around enough parks, national parks, that we can do that. We also visited some attractions like the 2 in Warner Valley that you saw, Butch Cassidy's boyhood home. But aside from that, a lot of it didn't make it on video. There were other things that we did, like Kanab. We went to, an antique store, went around. They have a nice, quaint little downtown. We visited the downtown there. So some of that stuff didn't make it on video because it wasn't really video quality, and the video would be 2 hours long. Lessons learned in nav. So what I decided to do was take my phone and see how Google Maps would work. Now, for all intents and purposes, it was great. It got me into the parks and things like that. But like experiences out in Warner Valley, I know Warner Valley. I've been up there. I don't know it like the back of my hand. But once you get there, the offline feature will take you into these places. However, getting back out, if you're going to go to a different place that you're going to punch in out there, there's no cell service. So if you're relying on Google Maps and you get to some place that there's no cell service, you could be stranded there if you don't know the area. So really, I would suggest either a road type GPS device, or if you have a hiking type GPS, start it up on your way in, and you'll have, whether or not you have service, you'll definitely have a map to get out, or at least you could navigate your way out with one of these. So we did lose cell service, especially at the dinosaur tracks. We put in our hotel room and it said no service, and there was no map to get you out. So definitely having a defined GPS device or phone app that works offline. My preference is always have to some type of backup. Also, the routing for Google Maps took us across the Navajo Reservation and the Hopi Reservation, which are fine, and it's fine that you can do that. However, you are far away from anything. The Navajo Reservation is the largest Native American nation in the United States, and it is very, very desolate. So most of the Indian routes that you see on a map, and Google thinks that they're highways, are really not. They're 2-track dirt roads, which I'm used to driving on or riding on. But in that case, it's always nice to have, if you own one of these, bring it with you. You're paying for the service. Just turn it on, and you've got something in case you break down. Other things that are just backups for backups, and if you're traveling in a vehicle, a benchmarks map of the back road areas is very good. Some type of maps, either maps of the general state that you're in. An atlas really works good. And if you're in national parks, these are really handy. These National Geographic's National Parks maps really give you an in-depth look at the road system, trail systems, rules, and things to do in the park. So these are, I know, like 12, 15, 20 bucks. Worth every dime of that, just so you can plan your trip. And have a map, this is a Michelin map, of the area that you're going in. Kind of gives you a little bit more granularity, especially sitting in a hotel room. Maybe give you something to do. And if you're going off-road, they have off-road guides for just about every area in the country, and especially in these national park areas. They're usually surrounded or maybe surrounded by national forest, and information like that can give you insight into places to ride around. So in total, We visited 4 national parks. I think we could have got 2 more in, but weather was a concern. I have a 2-wheel drive truck, or we were driving our 2-wheel drive truck. We have a 4-wheel drive, but it wasn't set up for winter driving. It's not 4-wheel drive. It doesn't. We didn't have chains. We didn't have winter tires on it. So we decided not to do that. But we could have gotten 6 national parks in, I'm pretty sure. We went to each place, visited the visitor center, the gift shops, and tried to get as much of the experience as we could, the overlooks, some of the trails. So we spent time in each one, and quality time. So we actually maybe got more than an overview, but less than a full-on experience. But if you're just traveling the Southwest, you're a visitor here, it's definitely a good way to go. There's in the visitor center, there's lots of information, so that's really a good stop. And I usually try to buy a t-shirt or something like that, or a hat pin in the gift shop, because that helps go to support the park too. So we did see 7 attractions. We saw the dinosaur park, or dinosaur tracks. Butch Cassidy was one of them, and the petroglyphs. We saw several more that didn't make it to the video, but it was really a good experience, and I highly recommend, if you're in the Southwest, grab yourself a National Parks Pass if you're so inclined to do that, and see some of our national parks. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching. Please comment, subscribe, ding that bell so you get notified when I put up a new video. Like and share. Adios.